Well, hey folks, welcome to Be Yourself and Keep It Real, where we be ourselves and we
Podcast.
keep it real. Podcast.
Podcast.
I am Patricia, better known as the Real
And
Ebony
I'm,
Queen,
and I'm
and
hooked.
this is Hook. Yay.
hmm So, so, what we want to talk about? We doing freestyle, so we like whatever topic we come up with, we just talking about it. Um, what was on? What I wanted to say, like how the black people tear down the community, and then they want to get mad when they see the Jews and the other people from different country come and they fix up the community. Like back in the Wynwood area, all that was like number empty warehouses and drug thing with people going there and do drugs and all that. They don't fix it up,
I
but they like
remember.
they kind of mad. They kind of mad how they don't fixed up the community.
Well,
I don't understand that.
part of the issue,
Uh huh.
honestly, um, it's not so much that they're tearing up the places. It's
Right.
like, for example, some of the apartment complexes are just taking people's money and not doing the repairs that needs to be done. So that's part of it. And then the other half of it is how they get the property. Because, you know, for the most part, one of the things that a lot of people don't understand is that you might have a mortgage on a house. You might have even paid off your house, but you do not own your house.
You still don't
because
own it.
because no, because the government can come in and say, hey, there's a street that needs to come through here. So here's a set amount of money that is not worth the money that you paid for your house. You got to move in 6 months,
Right.
and then they give you the money. You're supposed to move, but they don't give you enough to not only pack up your stuff, but find another place to stay, first, last security, or, if you get an apartment, or even they don't even give you the full value of the house that, right then and there.
Right.
And the bad thing about it is that when they build whatever they're going to build,
Right.
then it's going to,
Right.
I'm
Okay. Go.
hearing an echo, I think.
Yeah. 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 Go ahead. Yeah. You good. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is that when they wind up building whatever they build,
Mm-hmm.
then it's actually worth more than when you were on it,
Right.
which, and you don't get any of that because you're gone. So that's the
Right.
other part of it. And nowadays, up in Jacksonville, I know what's happening in Jacksonville, where there are people who were living in Section 8
Uh-huh.
apartments rather, um, and they're paying their rent monthly like clockwork, but when they're reporting issues, they're not getting fixed. Had a
That's
friend of
true.
mine, had a friend of mine staying in an apartment complex, and he had 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom apartment, nice size. He wasn't paying up. Shoot, he might have been paying like 950 for it. Okay, which is very good. Um, as far as where he was, the
Uh-huh.
apartment itself, not so much. Between the mold in the bathroom and about maybe 80% of the electrical outlets working.
Right.
Um, and then when it rained, no, I'm sorry, when his, yeah, when it rained and the
Mm-hmm.
drain got clogged, when his neighbor took a shower, it
Mm-hmm.
drained into his kitchen, like came out of
Right.
the kitchen sink, out of the dishwasher, and all over the floor.
Damn.
So he's complaining about this. He lived there 2 years. So
Uh-huh.
the first year he was there, they changed leasing companies 4 times.
Right.
Okay, the fifth time came around. And this
Mm-hmm.
was the beginning of, actually it was the end of 2022. Around
Right.
the like end of 2022.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, uh, beginning of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
End of 2022. They tried to evict him,
Right.
and what they were passing off was when they came in. Now this is leasing management company number 5 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
They came in and was trying to tell the judge that my friend was on a verbal month to month lease,
Right.
when in all actuality, he signed an actual lease.
Hmm.
And apparently, they didn't expect for him to show up in court to fight it with all the paperwork. So they had it thrown out twice.
Hmm.
Okay. The third time, yes, there was a third time. Now, the same people telling the judge the same thing,
Hmm.
he got legal aid on him.
Right.
Filed a countersuit
Right.
because at that point it's harassment.
Yeah.
But by the time all of this came up and about, I would say he finally got moved in, I think it was
Hmm.
March, probably about the same time I got down here. I think he moved, yeah, he moved before I did. No, I moved before he did. So it was May.
Hmm.
Um by the time all of this had come around, I would say probably about 60 to 70% of there were gone because they were going apartment to apartment. And
Hmm.
those people who didn't have the paper, they probably been there a long time, did
Right.
not have the paperwork that my friend had, who was very OCD about keeping all of his receipts.
Right.
They had to leave, and they weren't given a whole lot of options. So
Hmm.
what I found out later was that a lot of these apartment complexes lost their Section 8 privileges.
Right.
The government just said, no, we're not doing that no more. And so they basically said, okay, never mind. So when a company came by, they buy
Hmm.
it cheap, absolutely
Hmm.
cheap, remodel it, and raise rent.
Right.
So that's the other part, is the way that these shady management companies are trying to get the people that are longtime residents that have been there, that are trying to live in the apartment in the condition it's in,
Right.
despite all the complaints are not getting fixed, and then turn around and kick them out. Yeah, I'd be pissed too.
That's how that, that's how they do it. That's how
Yeah,
they do it. Cause like
and
right now, let me tell you, like, it's one community over there off 22nd and like 75th Street, New Scots over there,
oh
right?
yeah,
They don't fix nothing over there. They don't even cut the yard over there. They don't do nothing over there. Anything breaking there, you be stuck. People
wow,
buying their own appliances and stoves and stuff and putting it inside there.
yeah,
That's how bad it is. And then if
yeah.
they do bring you a refrigerator or a stove, it's full of roaches. So I don't know what they do with all the money that they collect from the people that's over there in the community. What they do with the money? So they stealing it, spending it on something else.
They are taking it and taking it. Because for the most part, I mean, they're in Florida particularly,
Hmm.
there is actually no limit to how much they can charge for rent. Like in other places, especially when everybody was staying home and like not moving during the lockdown.
Right,
Once people started, going, "Oh God, I can't stay anymore. I got to go over here." They were like, "Oh well, we have this amount, and if you want to stay here, you're gonna have to pay this." And we're like, well, shit, I might as well stay where I'm at.
right.
I mean, the first year I was in my apartment was 2018 to 2019.
Hmm.
Um, no, I'm wrong. That was the 3 bedroom, 2 bath. I had a one. I moved in 2020. I moved
Hmm.
from a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom apartment
Right,
to a 1-1.
right.
And when I moved, 2020, August of 2020, brand new lease. I mean, I waited for my other lease to expire. All I did was move across the apartment complex.
Right,
My rent was 1,099 a month.
right.
Okay, 1,200 square feet, ground floor, close to the back, away from the street. Nice. Okay,
Hmm.
lovely. 2021, they raised my rent $50. Cool, no problem. I'm good with that. You know, 11 was that 11.40, 11.49. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm good. Plus, they had the valet trash, they had the pest control, the whole nine. So
Right,
it wound up being yeah, about 1,100. So cool, no problem, no big deal. When my lease got renewed in 2022, they raised my rent $175.
Damn.
I was paying $1,275
Right.
in 2022,
Hmm.
and that's why I broke my lease in 2023.
Damn.
Because I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. And the thing about it now, the thing about the apartment complex that I was at though was
Uh-huh.
I was lucky, blessed, whatever you want to call it, because they actually did make improvements. Like all like from the summertime of 2021, no, I'm sorry, from like spring of 2022
Hmm.
until about November, December of 2022. They pressure washed all the buildings. They
Hmm.
repainted them. They
Hmm.
redid the parking lot and put
Hmm.
the lines back down. They took up all of the which this is what I had a big problem with though, because the ground floors had
Hmm.
patios in the back. And the
Hmm.
patios, I'm going, you have your little screen door, you can go out to the back. Well, they took all the paver stones out and they didn't replace them. So, like, if I wanted to go out my back, my back patio to go, I don't know, look at the lake or something,
Hmm.
I'm walking through mud, I'm walking through, and I was like, hey, can y'all put some mulch down here, some
Hmm.
uh rocks or something?
Right.
Um, then I didn't wait. But the thing is like, uh, I saw improvements to the apartment complex that I was at because
Hmm.
of where I was.
Right.
Because in Jacksonville, you have the South Side, you have the beaches, you have the West Side, you have the
Right.
North Side, and then you have the East Side,
Hmm.
which is like just east of downtown.
Right.
Okay, not all the way out to the beach, but that's the East Side. And basically, the East Side and the North Side, and I would say probably about 60% of the West Side, mostly blacks, mostly black people.
Hmm.
Where I was, I lived in Mandarin, and I see the big difference. Big difference. Because again, like I said, they raised my rent, but I saw the progress. Where my friend was staying, they tried to raise his rent, but
Hmm.
they weren't doing anything. So that's
That's
that and that's why people are mad.
yeah. That's a lot of that going
That
on.
that's why people are mad.
There's a lot of that
Um,
going on.
it's crazy. And our present system, our present capitalistic system is
Hmm.
not helping. It's not helping at
At
all.
all. At all.
I was talking with my mom the other day.
Hmm.
She said, "Oh my gosh, I wish something would happen where the internet just totally disappears."
Hmm.
And I'm like, "Well, why?" She's like, "Because, now we won't have to worry about, people being nosy. We don't have to worry about people losing money." I said, "Oh
Hmm.
no, we're going to be on a bartering system eventually anyway. I would say within the next 20 years." Like, why? I
Right.
said, "Because um, gas right now is $4 a gallon. Well, the gas I get anyway. Um, and if they continue to, like, for example, you hear all these stories about these corporations.
Hmm.
Oh, they're going to come out with their quarterly earnings, and you hear that they making billions of dollars in profit.
Hmm.
The profit only goes to the shareholders,
They
and
got
they
to make
call it
that.
yeah. But see, that's the whole thing. That the profit, that's not something that goes back into the company. That's excess of what they put back into the company.
Hmm.
So why in the world are why in the world are we paying $10, almost $10 for a Whopper combo? Okay,
Especially when the meat ain't even real.
that part.
It ain't even. It just number. What it is? What you want to call it?
Meat byproducts.
No. What? Yeah, my memory kind of fucked up.
That's the hot dog. You talk about the Impossible Whopper?
No, I'm just talking about the meat. It is. It ain't. It ain't that real. It's
I have
It ain't
I have
real.
no I have no idea. I just
It ain't real.
I
Shit.
had
When I went to California, Popeyes that for two pieces almost like $15.
there
That's
you
a
go.
lot of money. Down
But
here,
see,
they
you know
want.
what? I had I dated a person. I dated a guy. who lived in Boston. And one of the things that I admired about the Northeast, particularly, is yes, they do have a very high cost of living.
Mhm.
Um, and in Massachusetts, particularly, they actually have a state tax. But when he told me about the kind of programs that they have,
Mhm.
I was like, okay, maybe we need a state tax like that. For example, when we were dating, his son was about 10,
Mhm.
and he actually could go to an after school program, and it wasn't like tutoring or anything. It was basically aftercare that they didn't have to pay for.
Mhm.
Like here in like when my daughter was going to school in Jacksonville,
Right.
um, had to pay for aftercare. It was 120 bucks a month for one
Yeah.
child to stay there for 2 hours. Because when she got out of school, I got off from work, go pick her up, bring her home.
Right.
She'd been there 2 hours. So yeah, and the childcare services. I was when my kids were young and I was getting
Mhm.
ready to go back to work. I was looking to take them, to a daycare. My son was in kindergarten,
Mhm.
and my daughter was going to preschool. So I'm
Mhm.
looking around for these basic, these general preschools, because what they do is that they have, BBK from 8 o'clock in the morning until noon,
Right.
and then after that, it's childcare basically.
Right. Mhm.
And there was one place that I went to that they wanted $120 a month for one child, and they had to be out of diapers.
But the money went by your income.
No,
Is it?
no.
No.
And you're talking no. This was 15 years ago. My daughter's
Mhm.
15 now.
I knew
So if
people were
you're
paying
talking
like $8 and $10.
exactly. But the thing about it is that again, it's where I lived. I
Right.
lived in the South Side area
Right.
near an A school. My kids wouldn't have went to high school anyway because they don't live in Florida anymore.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's crazy. And so when the prices go up like that,
Mhm.
people have less kids,
Right.
okay? Which means we have less people out there to buy stuff. So then of course marches in the law of supply and demand. If you don't have anybody buying something, you're gonna have to raise the price so that when somebody does buy it, you would be able to buy another one.
Man, shit, stuff done went so high, man, and so expensive, man. I mean, like you go in the store, I mean, things that was dollar, so some change is down to about $10 now.
Dollar Tree is not Dollar Tree
No more. It's
anymore.
like five. You might well say $5 to $10 too.
Well, see, and the thing about it is like you go into Family Dollar and you go into Dollar General, you know
Uh,
darn well that stuff isn't like a dollar. But Dollar Tree was literally a dollar, and they just went up last year. Like
right.
Dollar Tree, Dollar Tree. Oh yeah,
Mm.
it's just not the same. But at the same time, there's places that have employees that aren't paying what they're worth.
It ain't. Not
Like
down here.
say what you want about Chick-fil-A, okay? A
Mm.
lot of people say Chick-fil-A, fundamentalist, white Christian, whatever,
Mhm.
but they treat their workers very well. And you can
Mhm.
tell simply by the service you get.
Mhm.
I mean, when the when the pandemic came around and everybody had to go through drive-through and couldn't go into the store,
Mhm.
Burger King didn't change, McDonald's didn't change, Wendy's didn't change, Arby's didn't change, Popeyes didn't even change. Now, keep
Mhm.
in mind, all of these were on the street that I lived off of.
Mhm.
Okay, well, not Burger King. Burger King was on the other street, and so was Wendy's. But none of them changed. Chick Fil A, however, created the double drive-through with the awning the big long awning. They had the little posts outside. They had the little um, handheld things that you can, pay. They got the menus on the board. They had everything. They did all of that within 6 months of being in the lockdown. They took care of the workers because in the wintertime they give them coats. In the summertime they have fans. They have heaters out there for wintertime. Like I said, say what you want about Chick-fil-A, but they do take care of their workers, and that's why they're loyal. And
What
a lot
they
of people don't
paying?
realize, huh?
What they get paying an hour?
I actually don't know.
See, that's what you got to know. But they may get them all that things, but what they get paid an hour?
But see, here's the thing though. You would not have a problem paying somebody a livable wage, or even, like they're mostly teenagers and college students. Okay.
Right,
So most of them can't make over a certain amount of money anyway,
right.
because they have classes and they're only allowed to work a certain amount of time anyway. But the thing about it is that it's not so much how much they make, it's how they're being treated.
Right.
You are going to you're going to feel good about going to a job that cares about you.
Hmm.
That's why I love my job. Okay, I work from home.
But
I'm
not
a
all
pharmacist.
jobs. But not all jobs care about you though.
I know,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. You know, if you don't pay your if you don't pay anybody a living wage, you better take damn good care of them, because otherwise they're just gonna go somewhere else.
Right.
So, having said that,
Hmm.
anybody's here, welcome to our open freestyle night here. Be yourself, keep it real, and keep it
Freestyle
real,
Sunday.
and be
Keep it
yourself.
real
It is
podcast and
freestyle
be
Sunday.
something. Hmm. So let's
So,
go back. Let's go back to what I was saying about the black community damaging in the community. Because I'm gonna give you a perfect example.
okay,
Some of these apartments that they building, like these new apartments they building, right? And you got some that got elevators in there when you're going in there. I mean, they'll pee in the elevator, they'll throw up in the elevator, they throw trash, they throw condoms down in the elevator. And I'm saying to myself, like, damn, why they gotta do all that? You know what I mean? They don't care. They'll pee, they spit all in the elevator, everything. And I'm like, damn, this is what you want to stay in some kind of place like that?
well, unless you have unequivocal proof that it's us, it might not be.
Shit, that's how it stayed in there. Black people.
Yeah, but in any group of people, whether it's race, whether it's coworkers, whether it's a whole bunch of bikers, whether it's a crowd of people at a concert, you are going to have that 1% that just doesn't give a damn.
Right.
And that's who's doing it. Now,
That's
one bad apple is not supposed to spoil a whole bunch.
right.
However, because we all get lumped together.
Right.
So that's what happens. And the thing about it is that
Mhm.
there's some people that are just pissed. It's like, hey, this is nice and new, and they took my money and they got all this. No, I don't like it. Trash it.
But
Some people are,
that still don't give them a reason to damage where they live at. But they like, and someone they just tear it up, they just throw trash, they do whatever. You know what I
and
mean? They don't understand that it's important to take care of the planet, the earth that God gave us, but they don't understand that. They just throw
well,
trash and
it's kind of like reasoning with an alcoholic. You're trying to tell them, look, your liver is not appreciating what the hell you're doing to it. You might want to stop. And they're
mhm.
like, okay, I can stop anytime I want.
Yeah, cause I ain't gonna lie,
It's
I used to
nonsense.
throw trash out when I used to be driving and stuff. But when I thought after reading this book and it said that God, will bless you when you take care of the planet, so I stopped doing it. And ever
Absolutely.
since I've been doing it, like shit, a lot of things been happening for me. So that's why I don't even throw trash out the car, nothing like that. I put it in the garbage where it's supposed to go.
Well,
So
a
some
lot of
people need to
people,
understand that it ain't good to throw trash anywhere, a place where
well,
they live is dirty and nasty.
the thing about it though, is that a lot of people believe in karma, but they
Mhm.
don't really actually know what karma really is.
Not all of
Like,
them.
yeah, because they say, oh, karma's a bitch. Yeah, karma is a bitch. But what karma really is what goes around comes around.
Right.
What you put out there, you are going to get back.
Right.
So you might
But
as
they
well be
go, but
good.
you'll get it like 100 times harder than what they gave you.
Exactly.
You
So the
understand what I'm
whole thing
saying?
is that if you're being good to the planet, you're getting being good to people, you're making donations. Yeah, the law of attraction, it's going to come back to you, and it's going to come back to you a thousandfold.
Yeah. But like,
But
but some people don't understand. Karma could come in different many ways. You know what I mean? Like, you could be with somebody and you with them and they doing other sneaky things behind your back, doing all kind of things, thinking they getting over on you, but they really ain't getting over. Because in reality, certain people is like say like God chosen one. Like when you a chosen one, you understand what I'm saying? Them
oh,
kind of
I
people,
do.
them kind of people you don't want to play with.
Yeah, you don't
When you
want.
do things to them kind of people like that, man, all kind of things start happening to you. Like things start going wrong in your life. And then sometimes the kids pick up the bad blessings. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
So some people don't understand that. Like, if you know you ain't, you don't mean a person no good. If you know you don't want to be with that person or anything like that, leave the person alone. You understand? That's just plain and simple.
Yeah, I've had my brush with karma. So I'm like I said the other day, I'm not exempt.
Hmm.
I can say a lot of these things
Hmm.
because I've lived a lot of these things, and
Right.
I'm trying to keep y'all from jumping in the fire.
Right.
I was talking about me and my sister were talking on the phone earlier about
Hmm.
karma,
Right.
and you know the things that happen to people when you mess with. Basically, my mantra is God hears His children when they cry.
Right.
So if somebody makes you cry, you can best believe He's heard it and He's gonna deal with it.
Right.
Him, karma, universe, the Krishna,
Hmm. But not like
Buddha.
some people got to understand that not everyone is a chosen one of God.
Oh no, no,
Certain ones, certain people.
we well. Let's put it this way. This is my belief. Everybody has God in them. Everybody
Right.
has the spirit of God in them.
Right.
It's all a matter of whether you want to listen to it.
Right.
Everybody has a everybody is inherently good,
Hmm.
except for the people who are born with the real in their brains, and then yeah, they're not. But it's not really their fault. They were born that way.
Right.
Um, but everybody's inherently good. Good people do bad things.
Right.
If you want to live a good life, you got to do the hard things. You want to
Right.
live a hard life, you go ahead and do the easy things.
Right.
Everybody has the spirit of God in them. Everybody has that, but everybody has that potential of being, a good person and a person who attracts good things because
Right.
it's really what it is.
Hmm.
You just have to, and it's not even so much that you have to listen to it. For the most part, you kind of have to learn how to listen to it
Right.
because people are hard headed.
Oh yeah, I know that.
I tell people, Tony Robbins. You know Tony Robbins, right? Motivational speaker.
Tony Robbins. I probably done
Tony
ran
Robbins.
across him online and probably didn't,
Big,
I
big,
probably heard
big.
some of the stuff he say.
Oh, he's been around a long
Mhm.
time.
Mhm. I probably heard some of the stuff he say. Yeah, I probably heard some of the stuff
He's been
though. He
around.
say on this thing. Okay, so
Ow, that hurt. Anyway, um, he said something. I think I saw it on his Instagram page,
uh-huh.
and the one thing that always stuck with me, I don't remember anything else that he says.
Hmm.
Let's come across Instagram page has a little blurb up there with him, looking all nice and Tony Robinson. It said, "People know what to do, they just don't do what they know,"
Hmm.
and that stuck with me
Hmm.
because I'm gonna tell you, I know how to lose weight.
Hmm.
I'm still working on it.
Hmm.
I know what to do.
Hmm.
I know what to do. I know what I should do. Um, but there are things that are just way easier for me to do that I'm gonna do, and so guess what? I'm not gonna
Right.
lose weight. So I have to be okay with that. I
Right.
can't be mad. It's like, oh man, I can't lose weight if I'm sitting there eating ice cream every day. So yeah, people know what to do. They just
Right.
don't do what they know. Yeah.
Right.
They know they should keep things clean. They know they should throw things in the trash. They know they shouldn't have sex in the elevators and get rid of the condom. The best thing to do, by the way, is to flush it down the toilet because if somebody grabs that condom, they literally can make themselves pregnant. And I've heard of somebody doing that.
Well, black people don't care what they do it, man. They do it any kind of way, anywhere. They don't care. They don't even much care
So,
about that.
yeah, people know what to do. They don't do what they know.
Hmm. So I want to talk about the ad with what I looked at with sent me with the lady who stabbed her boyfriend 120 times, 103 times,
108 times.
108 times, right?
108
And
times.
then she went to trial. The jury found her guilty, and the judge ruled that she only get 2 years probation and some community hours
And community service.
because the judge said she didn't have no control.
Hold on a second.
Ain't no black person would have got off on that. They would have gave them
Oh,
they
man.
they would have
I
gave them life 2 or 3 times. They would have gave them
Well,
like 3 life sentences with 100 years behind it. But
no. You know what's so jacked about the whole thing is that there are people right now that are serving long sentences just for holding marijuana. They didn't even smoke it, they're just holding it. Make it make
but
sense.
but that I think that case gonna give other people opportunities to get out or to get out on things like that because they're gonna go down in history. That's gonna be like another case law.
Well, and you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, the
But what state that
lawyers,
was from? What state that was from?
California.
Oh,
See,
I don't know.
recreational is legal over there.
Hmm.
So they can't get her on drug charges because actually, I'm wrong. They actually can get her on drug charges if it's a federal trial. As far as the federal government is concerned, marijuana is still illegal. Um, now the only thing is like I said, she was sentenced. She did get sentenced, but the thing about it is that I mean she did get convicted. It's just the imbalance in the sentencing. Like killed somebody. Like somebody is not here anymore.
That's
At
like meditating. That's like
least
a meditated murder.
premeditated. Well, you can't call
Premeditated,
it
yeah.
premeditated. You can't call it premeditated because that's first degree. She was convicted of second. Um, is it second? Hold on, I got the.
I think it was first degree. I think it was.
Here, let me. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
I think
Is
it
it
was.
gonna let me do it? Share my screen. Doo-doo-doo. Not that window. Thank you. Can you see that?
Okay, let me see. Are you sending it? Did you share the screen or something? Because I don't see it. Let me see. Where you sent it at? Oh, okay. I see it right there. Okay. There you go right there. We bring it up on the screen right there. So um, you gotta press play on it for people to see
It's like, huh?
it.
May Make it make sense because my thing is, it's like
You
there are
took it
people
off?
out there. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
There are people right now that are like, like I've only had this little bud that I had
Hmm.
planned on smoking after I got off work on a Friday night just so I can
Right.
go to sleep,
Right.
and it makes no sense. I mean,
Shit.
well, I'm sorry, it kind of does make sense. Um, because if you live in our skin, this shit
Right.
happens every day, every other day, every third day.
It do.
Um, so that's really and the people in oh gosh, the comments,
Hmm.
the comments. I even chimed in a couple of times too. I said, look, they have different varieties of cannabis and marijuana. I get that. You have your sativa, you have your indica, and you have a hybrid. And from what I understand, uh, well, let me stop. I smoke. Uh,
Hmm. But she probably
sativa.
was on. She probably was on K2. She probably wasn't on no real marijuana. K2 is the one that make them act stupid. That was what she probably was on.
Well, and that and that was one of the comments I said that
Synthetic,
I
synthetic.
understand. I understand. Indica, makes you sleepy or hungry. Sativa makes you hyper and hungry, and then you
Right,
get your hybrids. But I think whatever she had to be laced, either
right. Yeah,
laced or
yeah,
that K2. But I think it was
yeah.
laced because yeah. But there are a small percentage of people, and I
Hmm.
mean a small percent. We're talking like one out of thousands of
Hmm.
people that do have a bad reaction to the THC.
I think only
It's
the
just no different.
88. I think on the 88, 88D people
No, it's not us. Sorry, it's not. It's not us.
get hold of that real strong weed. I think it make you do all kind of things you got no business doing.
Nah,
You
nah,
don't think so?
it doesn't. I can.
Oh, okay.
I can tell you it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
I have a card. It doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm in chronic. I'm in chronic. I'm in pain all the time.
Right.
So yeah, I need it. But no, no. It actually, like I said, it's a very small percentage of people because the interesting thing about it is
Hmm.
the brain chemistry is
Hmm.
so different among between me and you. I
Right.
mean, you wouldn't last a day in my brain. I'm not kidding. But yeah, but the thing about it is like everybody's brain chemistry is different.
Hmm.
Um, we have all the same basic hormones.
Hmm.
Okay. And I mean literally everybody, like men and women. We all have the same basic hormones. It's all a matter of how much of each. Like women have more estrogen, men have more testosterone.
So that
And
mean like the women that got hair on their chest, they got a lot more men in them than women. They got hair
I,
under their chin.
they well, believe it or not, that is more true than you think it is.
I guess that's what
because
it is.
because the older women get, you're gonna love this. The older women get,
Uh huh.
the less estrogen our ovaries make.
Hmm.
And so what winds up happening is that the balance gets tipped because we have testosterone in our body too. We have androgens, which basically is predecessor to testosterone. So when we got the more estrogens, yay, we're feminine. We don't have the hair on our chins. We're not sitting there plucking them out every day. We're not shaving the hair off our chest and trying to make sure you don't have that mustache. But as we get older and our bodies start to shut down, little by little, all the different systems shut down at different times. Like uh, there's people who went into menopause in their mid 30s.
Right.
There are women right now they're still having periods and they're in their 60s. It's that broad. So yeah,
Everybody got different symptoms of every the different things.
exactly. And then if you throw in other issues with hormones, like for example, I don't have a thyroid gland,
Hmm.
so that jacks up my hormones.
Hmm.
Like I had to. I It took like 5 years,
Hmm.
and it's not an exaggerate. 5 years to
Hmm.
balance my thyroid gland hormone with all
Hmm.
the other medications I'm taking.
Right.
So yeah, once you get that imbalance
Hmm.
and your estrogen's down here, but your androgens and your testosterone's up here, yeah, you're gonna start growing the hair on your chin. You're gonna start looking like you have a mustache. You're gonna
But
have a deeper
sometimes,
voice.
I think that probably like y'all probably women's probably gonna use some type of product that got a little man like something enough pertaining to man.
Well, now it all depends on their brain because I'm gonna tell you that unless you're actually looking out of their eyes, you can't
Mhm.
really tell what a person's feeling. You really
Right.
can't. Um, hmm, it took me years to figure out that my son was not. I won't say not average because I already knew he wasn't going to be average. Um, but when he was born, like I said, he was 4 months early. And we basically treated. up there in Jacksonville, it was an intellectual disability.
Hmm.
Okay. Up until he turned 5, they treated it as a developmental delay.
Right.
After he turned 5 and he started going to school, then it was an intellectual disability. And for those who don't know what intellectual disability is,
Hmm.
back in our day, we used to call it mild mental retardation.
Right.
Okay, so uh, IEPs, the whole nine. But the only way you can actually tell my son has autism is the way he talks.
Hmm.
And for a long time, I thought it was because maybe he was hearing us differently.
Right.
But no, it's the way his brain interprets the sound that comes in his ears and
Hmm.
the sound that comes out of his mouth.
Hmm.
So, uh, unless you actually can really, really, unless you actually have the same affliction as somebody else, you really can't say, "Oh my gosh, yes, you're a woman, but you're really a man, right?" Because
Yep.
you look like a man, you're dressed like a man, but you have these. So yeah, and I know a lot of them.
Hmm.
And honestly, as I said last week, if they're not messing with the three Fs, I mean, if they're not, messing with your three Fs, then leave them alone.
Right.
They have the right to be alive just like the rest of us.
Hmm.
Oh,
I was trying. I was
I'll
trying
give
to.
you.
I was trying to show you something. Like shows bring something on the page, but I'm trying to find it though. What I had seen earlier. This shit here gonna make you laugh when you see it.
Oh,
I'm trying to find it, but I'm trying to see where it's at though. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
is it on your page or?
Nah, it's on IG, but I'm trying to see if I can find it right quick.
Oh, oh
Um,
boy,
hold on, let me see if I can find it. Nah, I can't even.
you got
All
another
right.
browser window open, right?
Yeah, I don't think I can be able to find it. I'm trying to see if I can find it though. So see what you think about this bullshit here. What you gonna see? Look at. Hold on. See what you think about this bullshit.
Oh wow. Hold on. Hey, why is that doing that?
You got some whatever you got. You got to turn it up a little louder.
I just turned it down.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, turn
Because
it down.
I didn't I had my phone up here and I forgot to
Mhm.
I forgot to refresh your page. And so I was checking to see if there was anybody there and I'm like, oh snap, let me refresh the page, and that's when the sound came up. I'm like, oh wait, okay. Let me turn it
I'm
down.
trying to find this shit, but I can't find it. Hold on. I can't find it. Let me just put it right
Well,
there.
aw.
'Cause
Well hold on.
yeah, I can't find it. Yeah, but
Uh, well, why don't you text it to me and maybe I can find it.
I don't know if they're gonna let me. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. This some real bullshit. You finna laugh when you see this shit.
Oh damn.
If I can send it
Well,
to you.
is it on anybody's specific page?
I'm finna see if I can send it to you now. Hold on. Oh, damn.
Okay.
So I just let me see it. Put it up right there. Hold on. Let me see this shit. You finna say,
Okay, that's weird.
hold on. Okay, I see it. So what you gotta do? Copy and paste the link inside the thing, or how you do it?
Oh no, all I did was I have I
Drag
have
it over.
no, I just have a different browser open. So like I have the podcast on Chrome and I had the Instagram open on Firefox.
I'm trying to get to that right now. I'm trying to see something. I can do it. Hold on. Uh, hard to do this. Oh, yeah. I think if I probably send it to you, you probably could. What the name? Let me see if I can send it to you.
Okay. I don't know why my eyes are watering now. course, I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning, so
That's a long time. I just sent it to you. Look at that
okay.
shit. You finna laugh when you see that shit.
Oh, snap, TikTok.
I think you could send it in the link. If you could send it in the link in whatever the browser that come up on that thing. I don't know if you probably could do that. I don't know how you did it, but that's some
I got,
bullshit right there.
I got it. Hold on.
That's a that's some real bullshit there.
Oh, share the screen here real quick.
That's a real. Okay, you got it.
I do.
That's some real bullshit there, ain't it?
You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
So that was speaking on what you were saying earlier. The volume on. Okay. What type of bullshit that is right there? That's crazy.
I think he has a really good
That's
filter on his
crazy.
camera.
That was some bullshit there.
He has a really good filter on his camera.
On which one?
Yeah, the guy that was there.
That's
He
some
had a really good
crazy
filter.
shit.
What?
That's some crazy shit. He left his wife to go to be with another to be a woman.
Well, honestly, I would much rather not
But
have you.
she all probably already knew that shit was going on anyway.
We know. I'm sorry. We know. You cannot. No, we know. And it is not even women's intuition kind of thing.
That
It's
shit crazy,
we
man.
know.
That
And
shit
you
crazy.
know what though? Honestly, I get it. But the thing is that it is actually better to leave a relationship that you know that you're not going to be able to contribute to.
Right.
Just leave her alone. Let her go, do her thing. You go and do your thing. It might look weird to everybody else, but hey, as long as if you like it, I love it.
Yeah.
Because because like I said, at the end of the day, you have a responsibility
Right.
to not hurt other people. Like,
Mhm.
don't do that. But of course, there are people
Mhm.
out there that thrive on that shit. Thrive, like
Yeah, they do.
narcissists. They thrive on that stuff.
So I
Um,
want to welcome all the listeners to Be Yourself podcast. Keep it real. You chime in if you got anything you want to talk about this freestyle Sunday. If you got anything you want to talk about, you got to do is inbox me, and I'll send the link. And you can come on the screen. You can share it with us. It could be a situation you could be going through. Anything you can share it with us. We'll talk about it.
I will tell you that I have a very extensive list of unsolicited advice.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and say it. Let's
Oh,
hear it.
okay, all right.
Good.
Um, the main thing,
Mm-hmm.
okay, is and everybody's gonna go, oh no no, be honest.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I say be honest. Um, for me, I don't remember lies. I have ADHD. I have really bad memory retention issues. So I used to get caught lying when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was the kid that lied because she wanted to save face,
So
even though everybody knew I was lying.
okay, but so
Okay,
check this. So if somebody would be lying, they'll be lying in your face, and you know they lying. They got ADHD.
no, they're just lying.
Oh, okay.
No, but here's the thing though. Um, well, we do it as kids to save face because we're ashamed of what we did and we're trying to like, no, I didn't do it. because
Mhm.
you don't like that I did that. So since you don't like that I did that, I didn't do it.
Mhm.
But anyway, be honest. And this is one of the things that I tell everybody. There are 8 billion people on this floating rock in space.
Mhm.
That guy who's abusing you, that woman that is, trying to emasculate you, they are not the only person on this planet.
Right.
Stop dealing with toxic people, please. It is
Yeah.
okay. Hey, and when I say toxic people, I mean family too. Okay,
Mhm.
there are 8 billion people on. There's 8 billion people on. There is somebody for everybody. You just have to do the work time,
Right.
and not just go and look. You have to do some work on yourself too.
Mhm.
That, sometimes you got to do the hard things. Okay,
Mhm.
sometimes you have to do the hard things.
Right.
Now that coupled with being honest with your own feelings,
Mhm.
and now you got double jeopardy on trying to figure out if you're happy in a relationship.
Right.
Okay, the hardest thing to do is to be truthful to yourself.
But some people don't know how to keep it real and keep it truthful.
Hey, there you go. I tell every people every day. And don't get me wrong, my ex-husband is a great father. Okay, we had our issues. But
Mhm.
if I had been honest with my own feelings about our relationship,
Mhm.
I would have divorced him in 2001.
Mhm.
Oh, did I mention we got married in 93?
No, you didn't tell me. So
Did I mention we got divorced in 2017?
man, that's what
24 years.
24 years. Damn.
Yes, I left after 22. But I'm sorry. Yes. No, sorry. Yeah, 22. We had
So
a
for
we
that
had a
age,
20,
so 93 how old you was.
23.
Okay. So when you get married young like that, that marriage ain't gonna last long. Sometime. It
Well,
depends. But
and it
sometimes.
and it really depends. And that actually comes to my next point. My next point is dating is the process of elimination.
Right.
You are not looking for the person you want to be with for the rest of your life. You're not looking for that person, okay? When you're dating, you have to date people, a lot of different people, because there are a lot of different people out there.
Hmm.
And there is somebody that is going to fit every little check mark that you have on your list, because we do have lists and y'all can say what you want.
Hmm.
Like, cops don't have quotas, but they do have a minimum.
Hmm.
So everybody's got a list. Everybody got a list of what they want in the person and what they think they will be able to live with. But until you actually live with it, you don't really know.
But like, well, let me say something on that. Like they always say, you will never know a person till you live with them.
You never
You can
know a
love them on the
person.
outside now. You can love them on the outside now when y'all doing y'all thing on the outside. But when y'all
Mhm.
get under one roof, shit, you might can't stand that motherfucker. And you be like, what the
Im-
fuck I done did? You know what I mean? That's how it be for real.
Now, imagine being under one roof of a house. Okay? You know what that's like.
Hmm.
Now, imagine being in a truck. When me and my ex husband got married,
Hmm.
we started driving a truck together.
Hmm.
We'd only been dating a year, and it was a long distance relationship because I was
Hmm.
down here and he was in Jacksonville.
Hmm.
And we literally did not live together
Hmm.
before we got married. When we got married, that's when we started living together, which, of course, a lot of people respect. Yeah, all right, good. Yeah, you didn't live together. Yeah. Dude,
Hmm.
when you're with somebody 24/7 and the only time you do not see them is when you go to separate bathrooms in a truck stop, there's a lot of shit you got to let go. A lot, a lot. And the thing about it is that I realized
Mm-hmm.
that there were things that I was letting go. Of course, I was 23 when I started. Okay. So this man is literally the longest relationship I had ever had in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like my biological parents got divorced when I was 2. My stepdad and my stepmom got divorced when I was 16. No, I'm sorry.
Right.
I was 22.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd been married longer than my mom had been with both of her marriages. Okay. And I was 23. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
only thing I knew for a very long time as far as how a man treats a wife. Okay. And it wasn't until I came off the road after I had our son
Mm-hmm.
that I realized that, wait a minute, that's not normal.
Right.
And so as I'm starting to meet other people, because like I said, it was just me and him for a long
Mm-hmm.
time. Okay. And then when I got, like I said, I got pregnant with our son, I had to come off the road. Um, and we actually had the opportunity, we could have brought him on the truck if he'd have been born on time.
Right.
Because at the time, we had bought a brand new truck. Well, no, I'm sorry. We bought a brand new sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
And the truck, well, let me give you an idea of what I'm referring to when I talk about the truck. Because a lot of people go, "Oh my God, you're in that tiny little thing." I'm like, no, it wasn't tiny.
Mm-hmm.
It was not tiny. Um, we had been driving together
Mm-hmm.
for, let's say, about 12 years. Yeah, it was about 12 years at that time.
That's a
And
long time.
oh yeah. And so what we wound up doing was, as we, gained a little more experience with each other and all that, we started falling into smaller and smaller markets. So when I started driving a truck, a real good friend of mine um, taught me how to drive. We were movers, and we started with Ally Van Lines, which
Mm-hmm.
is, orange, black, and white. Um, when I got done driving a truck,
Mm-hmm. So you got a
I
CDL license?
had
Oh, you had. Okay.
had, and the only reason it's had now, it's because the state of Florida actually changed their rules. Because at one time, when if you had a CDL and you wanted to keep your CDL,
Mm-hmm.
you had to uh, they said, okay, you have the option, if you don't drive over the road, like intrastate rather,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, you can keep your CDL and not have a medical examiner certificate.
Okay.
But they changed the rules about a couple of
Mm-hmm.
years ago. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I went to change my license last year to change my address,
Mm-hmm.
they say, "Oh no, yeah, you got to get your medical examiner certificate." And I'm like, "What do I need a CDL for? I'm a pharmacy technician."
Right. So
So
so that's a truck y'all had right there.
this is the truck that we used to drive. Actually, he still drives it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a Peterbilt 379. It has a 325-inch wheelbase. It is
Mm-hmm.
81 feet overall length, and the sleeper on the back there is 325 inches. I mean, no, I'm wrong. It is. Hold on. I used to run these specs off like you wouldn't believe, and of course now it's been shit. What year is this?
Mm-hmm.
17 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that's right. My son is 17. So yeah, it's been 17 years since I've been in that truck. Um, but yeah, that is the truck. It had. Let me put that back in my window here. Da, 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 da. And so it has whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it has um bathroom or toilet, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
The toilet and the shower were integrated. So you had the
Inside of the
toilet on
same
one
truck.
side. Yeah. Hmm.
Damn,
Had
they had
the
all
in a
that.
little room. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Um, so the toilet and shower were integrated. So you had the toilet on one side, you had the shower head on the other, and it was one of those handheld shower heads. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then it had like a type of gaucho bed. So basically, what that did is that when you had everything up, it was a table and chairs. table bench seats, and then when you take the seats off, you lower the table, it becomes the bed.
Mhm.
Uh, on the other side, it had a sink, it had a two burner stove,
Right.
it had the microwave at the top, and the refrigerator. Yeah, microwave at the top, refrigerator at the bottom.
Hmm.
Had an exit out the back, and we had the boxes on the side, so we had plenty of room to bring our
So,
son
so
on
in
the truck.
reality, that was like a mobile home in reality.
It was, yeah, it was working. It was
Yeah.
basically a rolling apartment. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, I mean, it was great. The weird, the funny part is, I only got to ride in it twice
Hmm.
because we had we had did all the specs and everything
Hmm.
before I found out I was pregnant. We were
Hmm.
already specking the sleeper and getting everything together, and we outsourced a lot of the stuff, and we had to ship it to the place that was building sleeper.
Right.
So when I found out I was pregnant in August of that year, we took we took delivery on it in well, yeah, in December. I think it was like 2 weeks after my son was born,
Right.
and then he was still in the NICU. So I had to literally take my ex-husband up to Michigan
Hmm.
so that he can go back to work. I
Hmm.
drove home, and then about 6 months later,
Hmm.
when my son was off of all of the therapies that he was on, I
Right.
surprised him by flying up there with
Hmm.
our son. So we got a chance to ride in the truck together with him, and we went. I think we went. Yeah, we went to Atlantic City,
Hmm.
and so that was the first time I drove in it. And then the
Hmm.
second time I drove in it was no, I'm sorry, it was 3 times. The second time I drove in it is when me and our kids, I drove up to Georgia to meet
Hmm.
him up there,
Hmm.
and then we went up to and visited New York,
Right.
and he had a delivery in New Jersey or something like that. And then I drove, we had our car on the trailer. So that's a
Hmm.
car hauling trailer. Okay,
Hmm.
enclosed car hauling trailer. So we had our car on the trailer. And so when we got done in New York, I drove home. I drove back to Jacksonville.
Hmm.
And then the last time I actually drove the truck was when we had to get the engine rebuilt.
Hmm.
They did an in frame, and we had to go to Tallahassee
Hmm.
because that was the closest place we can get it done and the fastest.
Hmm.
So when it was done, we went over there, and he had been like working all day, so he was tired. So he was in the sleeper sleeping, and I drove the truck home. So we had room to keep the kid on the truck. It's just that all the therapies that he was going through,
Right.
it would have been impossible.
Right.
So we spent all of our time together in the truck. And other than our children, I really didn't have a lot of exposure to literal other people, except
Right.
for the people that we were delivering to
Right.
and family.
Right.
And I spent a lot of time with family. And so what wound up happening is that when I was home on a regular basis, started making friends, started, really learning my way around and everything, I realized that there are certain things that he was doing that guys don't do to their wives.
Hmm.
And so it's kind of the beginning of the end, sort of. Uh, and I cheated on him too, so there's that.
Right. That's what I want
But
to ask you. You must be done cheated on or something.
I did, I did. Um, and it wasn't, what's what's so jacked up about it is that how you think, oh my gosh, I found this person. He likes me. Oh, he compliments me. Oh, this is gonna be so great. And then
Hmm.
you're like, why the hell did I do that? That was the worst shit I had in my entire life.
Shit, some women don't even think about what they do. They just do it. They don't care.
Well, for me, it was the emotional neglect. It was I was neglected.
But
Yeah,
one thing I want to share. You got some women. They'll program in their mind. The man ain't got to be cheating now. They'll program in their mind he cheating. So when they got that in their mind that he cheating, that gives them ammunition to go out and do what they want to do.
you know, so
For they can feel comfortable with themselves. Like, okay, fuck it, he cheating. I'm finna cheat too. But all the
well,
while, the man ain't got to be cheating. You get what I'm saying?
well, it's funny you would say that because my ex husband used to tell me stories about His first marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I was number 2. There's a number 3, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But I was number 2, and I was the
Mm-hmm.
longest. Still the longest so far.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm still the longest. So he used to tell me about his ex-wife, and he used to tell her he used to be heavy. He was in the Navy. They were both in the
Mm-hmm.
Navy.
Right.
He used to be really heavy into photography,
Mm-hmm.
and so sometimes when you get really focused on something, you don't realize the passage of time, and so And I've seen all the pictures that he's done, so I mean, I know this was a legit story. He's got all the equipment, the whole nine. He said he used to stay in the dark room from the time like he got off from work was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
and he's working in the dark room. And when he comes out, it's the next day.
Right.
And he used to do that a lot. And she accused him of cheating,
That'd be that guilty conscience.
and a
That's
lot.
that guilty conscience. Be eating them up.
Well, and at that point, he was like, "Well, forget it. I might as well just do it."
That's that guilty conscience.
So
That's all that be.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They'll blame you.
Freestyle.
They'll blame you all day, but you already know what it be. It be they guilty conscience eating them up. They're just like
Oh
something
yeah.
just to give them the okay to do
The,
what they want to do. You know what I mean? But
hey, the emptiest can makes the biggest noise.
you know. So
It's
I wanna tell everybody we done ran out of time. And I like to tell
thank
you for thank
you.
you for chiming in to be yourself and keeping the real podcast. And thank you for chiming in. Thank you, Patricia, for chiming
Hey, hey, hug, hug, hug.
in. Thank
Woo! He's the man. He's the man.